Hey folks, this is D coming back to you with the third part of the waterfall table. It was the first time on my channel. Welcome. And if you've been following me along, I appreciate it. I might do a little bit more, but I don't think I am. But I'm going to wait at least 48 hours before I mess with this. I want to go ahead and order the metal brackets for underneath to keep it straight, so that as soon as I flatten it, I can put them on, and that way if it starts curing more, that's why I'm leaving it in here longer, even if I don't do anything to it, so it completely cures. Let's get to the video. Hey folks, so it's the next morning. Been trying to figure out what I was gonna do here, because the way this was cut, it had like a big hump, well not hump, but like a cutout in the middle. So I poured some more epoxy. Now I take off a lot of it, but there's a big gap right here in the bottom. And this slab is thicker than this one, so I didn't want a bunch of epoxy to go under there. So I was thinking about trying to flatten it out more, but it's real thin right here, so it's like, I guess I just flatten out the ends, and it's not much of a difference. I think I might just let it go in there, but then, like I said, there's going to be more epoxy that's going in there. I'm going to look at it. It's already like 3 o'clock. I've been inside watching UFC all morning. I guess I look at it, go from there. Here's what I was talking about. It just took a big dip right here, he just needed to change the saw blade on this saw when he milled it. It's perfectly flat now. The only thing is you got like a 1/4 inch at least, just because this is real thin right here. I think I'm just going to go ahead and caulk right here under it, set it in there, and then let it dry for a couple of days. This caulking that I did on the outside is drying, and it just doesn't stick very well to the tape, and probably be moving the stuff in and out doing that too. So I think I'm going to caulk all the inside of this and this one too. If I need to do something on top afterwards, I can just make a little border with caulking and caulk that area where I don't have to do all of it. Because if you try to do all of it to cover up some little stuff, then you're just going to take it off when you flatten it, just kind of wasting it. That's the only thing I'm going to go with. I'm going to go ahead and caulk them, flip them around, and put them back in. I got some caulking to redo over here. I don't know if it just happened. But here's where it came off of it. Let me get to it. I'm going to do the biggest bead of caulking as I can, just to decrease my chances of it leaking. Except over here, it's super thin. I'm not going to worry too much about that. I'm going to probably go about 1 foot this way and then go across. Hard thing's going to be setting it in there and not having to move it, or being able to. Otherwise, I'd have to completely redo it. Like this. Goes it set. Now that one. I think I did a good job, but I can kind of see gaps. Crap. So I got it clamped down. I had to put a lot of caulk on the edges. I think I'm going to go ahead and caulk the inside of this, even though there's some underneath, where you can see where it came out. I just don't want a lot of it to go under there. Just kind of going over and over this. So I got to let this dry for a little while before I try to put more on it. Like that one needs some under there. Might do that now, but just let it dry and then I'll start doing the pour. Get back to it. So a lot. It wasn't just caulk it and leave it, let it dry. I checked it for level, and it was straight right there, but now it's lower that over there. Made it that intentionally so that whatever goes under there, it'll go over here. And then, because I don't care if this one gets a little bit thicker, because it's a 1/4 inch, at least a 1/4 inch thinner than that one. So I made it all come this way, level out this way, and now it's still going that way too, going towards this corner, because if the caulking does work, it's not going to let it go down in under here anyways. But like from here this way, I left it open so some epoxy could go under there. So now I let it dry. Hope you're having a good one. Appreciate y'all. Morning, folks. Like yesterday I was saying, I went through and leveled it. I was going to level it, and then I thought about it, and it's angled this way. It's this way and that way. So I want to get as much as possible because it's real thin over there. It's like at least a 1/4 inch less than over there. So I didn't press it down as much on this side, so it can be up a little bit to kind of have a little gap. But since I put the caulk in here, it's not going to go all the way under there. But I didn't over there. I put to the end. Probably need to caulk there a little bit on the very outside because I don't want it to cut. That's why I'm only doing a little bit. I just wanted enough to touch the bottom of it since it's not sitting completely flat everywhere. I don't want to come up over the live edge on this side. So I'm just going to do like a 1/4 gallon and kind of see how it flows. I'm going to pour it over here and watch it go. I figure by the time, because to me it doesn't seem like it's going to be very much. By the time it gets over here, I'm hoping it'll be slow and go slow enough that when it does go under here and does get behind, if it does get behind it, it doesn't just keep going this way because it's so much angled this way. So after this first pour, when I see how full it is, I might do another one later when it starts getting tacky, and then that'll keep me from having to sand it. And then, well, before I do the second one, I'm gonna, when it starts really getting tacky, if it's, not midnight, I'm going to level it, completely level it back up after that. Let me get to it. If you have seen other parts to the videos, saw that I filled in the cracks and stuff with, it's almost black. Well, it is black now. Some of it's different, a little different, because I did this one. This side is not as dark as that one. I did this one a few months ago. The ones I did over there, they look darker. The main difference is if you can see all the way through it and light does come through, you can kind of see into this one a little bit. That one you can't at all. So this is the colors I have. They want blue, but they don't want it to be see-through because it's going to set on, they're going to put the dog crates underneath it. So they don't want to see the dog crates. So I'm going to make the first one black to try to keep it from the blue showing through. And so I'm probably going to use these that are already opened, like these, probably this too. And if it's not dark enough, then I'll open up another one. And then the blues, I'm just going to have to try to figure out. It might be a mix of like a light blue and a blue for the top of it. But I'll see. And then I'm also going to put some of this stuff in it. I'm putting some of this into the black, even though you probably won't be able to see it. And maybe a little bit of gold into the black. I may put gold into the blue, but just try to, it's going to be bigger pours, so I'm just going to not use as much. So I may not do anything, but I'm just kind of hoping it has some kind of glistening to it. But I am going to use these for sure. And I'm going to use some of this for the black. And like I said, some gold. These are mica powders. So these are liquids. Let me get to it. So it's a 1-to-1 ratio. So I've already used probably about 30% of this, of each one, and they're both the same. So I just measured them. I'm going to stop right there, try to, as close as I can to it. I think with the bigger amounts, a little bit can be off. The worst problems I've had is when I try to reuse containers. So I'll be saving these water gallons, I'm going to use it, then just throw it away and not bother trying to reuse them. That's about close enough. This is going to be harder to calculate because this is the actual epoxy. That's the thickener right there. Probably got like over half a gallon. It's completely empty. See how dark that looks? I put way too much gold in it. You can see it real. I mean, I don't know how well you can see it in the camera. With this pour, I'll kind of know more or less if I'm going to need it more or not. And I forgot to spray this before I put this down. Well, I didn't want to spray it because of the caulking. It wouldn't stick to it. I can't spray it now because it's going to get all over everything and you want it to stick to the wood. I really like this gold in it. And I'll put some of that silver black in it too. It got real cool in here. I didn't turn the heater on. So it's really thick. I guess that's good because that's what I wanted. Pour this on the cracks. That's all of it. It's over half a gallon and got maybe 1/8 of an inch at the most coverage. I'll pour it in. You may not be able to see it. I guess you probably can see the gold in it. But like I said, you probably won't even see it with the blue because I'm going to make the blue so opaque, so thick. It's going in under here. But I think I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of it. Put on top of this, even if it gets mixed together, because it's going to be covered up anyways. But I'm going to wait and see how far back it goes right here. Try to cover up these cracks. They're filling in pretty easy, but I used all the rest of that was left in there for that. I'm not going to be digging that out of here. I'm going to make some swirls in it, where if you do see some, it kind of looks like it's flowing. I guess now it's time to wait. Been about an hour and a half since I did that. I kept messing with this, trying to get all these cracks filled. This is real. You can see a lot of the gold in here on this side. I wonder why. I guess because it was at the bottom. You can't, not so much here. But it's going through right here. I can't see over here. And over here where it was meant to go through, it's already up to here. From here to here, where it's going through. But I don't see any in the back. So maybe it's just coming under it. Just got to keep an eye on it. Once it starts getting thickened up, I'm gonna go ahead and do the rest of it in the blue. Like I said, even if it mixes in with this, I'm gonna try to make it dark enough where you'd have to look real close to see through it to see this, because you can't see through this at all. You can just see the gold in it, but you can't see through in the bottom. See how it goes. Then about 2 hours later, it's gone almost all the way to here. I'm not sure if it's all the way underneath or just coming out the edge, but I think it's coming through right there. It's still really, just seems like it's not even really starting to cure yet. And then over here where it's going in right here, see a bunch of air bubbles because it's consistently going back in there. So one good thing about doing it so thick is that you won't see the bubbles unless they're on top. And then you're going to take some off anyway, so you take most of the bubbles out. Because I ran this thing through here again. I don't know if you can see. And it created bubbles, but they pop up right away. Seem like I said, it doesn't even look like starting to cure. It's my check in a few hours. So it's I guess it's been at least an hour from the last time. This is like barely, like maybe 1/16 of an inch thick, and this is maybe an 1/8. It's going under here, so get air bubbles right there. But they can still kind of see a gap. But it's, I don't know if they're just coming up or whatever. I haven't popped them. I have a heat gun, but I can't find it. They came in here last year and they stole 2 of my drills and they stole my my torch. I bought a new torch, but I don't have any gas for it. So if I was going to do it again, I wouldn't just do all the epoxy I have left, which is probably like 2 1/4 gallons. So this is over half a gallon and got maybe like 1/16 of an inch. And it's going to spread out. So, but I don't want to do it, and it just keeps going back here. So I might just wait. It's like 7 o'clock tonight right now. So I just want to sand it and have to clean it again, which is not that bad because you don't have to sand it that much. Just hand sand it 220. I'm going to pop these bubbles, and I guess I'm going to go to the house. I'm doing fasting right now, so I guess about 9 o'clock I'll eat. So I want to do the next one before 9. I guess another hour I'll come back and check. I just went and bought a lighter thing to pop these bubbles so I can see if it's still going in there or not. If it is, I'm going to have to wait. But let me see what happens. They're just barely popping, and I don't see any more. I don't think it's going to, but like I said, it's going to be so opaque that we shouldn't be able to see them anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and do all the rest of it. I haven't even poured the second part, and there's already a bug in there. The dead of winter. It's Oklahoma for you. Said she wanted dark blue, but I'm going to start with the light. Probably do a whole container of this. It's light blue. That did almost nothing. I can still see to the bottom. I don't think it's opaque enough. So here goes. And I re-leveled the table. Oh, it is opaque enough. I'm pretty sure it's still not going to be enough. Might be enough. If it doesn't leak over here, it's going to be hard to stop. Pretty close. Yeah, I really like how the color came out. I even put some black in it. It was like a whole container of light blue, 2 whole containers of blue, almost a whole container of royal blue. And I put the blue mica powder. This kind of you see glistening. 1 more gallon I think will be enough. I like it. Been messing with it for probably an hour and a half. There's bubbles coming up. There's some big ones coming up right here. And they just keep coming. Sucks trying to pop them with that lighter. But I'm going to leave it alone for a little while, let things happen. I added more caulking out through here. It was coming through. I can't see over here. It doesn't look like there's any going through. And some started going through here. And I put some more caulking. It stopped. And there's no reason to have a bunch of epoxy go right here because it's going to cut off anyways. So I try to fill all that up. I filled it up as much as I could out through here. But yeah, I love the color. Just try to keep the bubbles out of it. But when I do the next layer, I can also do it just as dark so you won't be able to see if the bubbles still or don't get popped. But it'll probably be up till midnight trying to come out here and pop bubbles. I'm going to go eat right now. I'm starving. You have a good one. So it's the next morning. Everything is hard. So it seems like it's good. And we got like maybe half an inch more. So I think a gallon would finish it out. Just ordered some more epoxy a couple of days ago and it's already in. I love this. So that's a win for it. It's different from the last one I got. This way you don't have to put them in one container then put them in another one or try to measure out of the container. You can kind of measure, especially when I don't do a lot of big pours. But if any epoxy companies want to sponsor me, I'll put you in their videos. So I got that epoxy today. I'm waiting to get the gas for my torch. So, because that's going to be a top layer. That's the only part that had a couple of bubbles right here. I don't know why they kept coming up. Just 3 of them right here. But I'm going to sand that down. And then that's the only thing I can see is bad about it. So I'm gonna sand these down. Well, I'm gonna sand the whole thing down anyways, so that the next layer sticks to it. The 220, and then because I don't want any bubbles on the very top one. If I don't get them out, you'll be able to see them. So. And I'm thinking about making the next layer real light because I don't have the exact same color. I still have the mica powder, which is the blue that you can kind of see. This is what the mica powder is. The dark, almost black, is just real dark blue. But yeah, I'm gonna get sanding some of this, and then I gotta get it all and clean it all back up, vacuum it all. And wipe it all down and get it all clean. I'm preheating the epoxy. As it says, this time in water. I was setting those in front of the heater before. But I'm going to go ahead and do this last pour. I'm excited, but also kind of worried and anxious about it messing up this color, the way this came out. But because the next layer is going to be kind of different. It's going to be lighter. It's going to be more like this color. I think. It all depends when I mix it and see what it looks like in the container. So, yep. In a few minutes, I'll start mixing it up. Here we go. I really hope it's enough. This is way lighter than that was, but I intended it to be. And I'll put some white mica flakes in it. Kind of almost basically looks the same. I think it's going to be enough. It's been about an hour since I poured it. I've been popping the bubbles, and it still pretty much looks the same as it did before. Except for the white. The white kind of makes it look like it's got some air bubbles, but it's because of the white mica powder where it still stayed clumped up. I try to mix them around, but I'm not gonna mess with it anymore. But it still pretty much looks the same. Now we had the fun part of flattening it, making a mess again. It's been about 2 hours since I did the pour. It's looking super clear. And it still looks exactly like it did before from when I did the last pour. I wanted to finish out this video with the table, but it's still a long time away. Like I was saying, I'm going to wait probably 2 more days before I even mess with it. I'll take everything out because this is what I'm going to use to flatten it. Like I said, I might do some more because it's some parts, but I'm about to put the level on it and see how. Because it's taken, like right here, on most places, it's not all the way up as high as I would like it. Some places it is, so it might just be the difference in the slabs. But I'm gonna end this part right here, and then the next part should be all the way to the finished. Hopefully by next week. I'm trying to put out a video every Saturday. So, but if you watch this video and gone this far, subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. I'm always up to something. I'm always busy recording, doing something. But I'm pretty subscribed and following along on all my stuff. I have a few series going, so really appreciate y'all. Till next time, have a good one. Appreciate y'all.